Hi, it's Dave. We got a lot of background noise working on the street today, but stay with us. I want to show you what we're doing here. We just put in landscape to our front porch, and we have all this landscaping. I got to drag a hose around, and a lot of people have that issue of dragging a hose. You don't want it to mess up your landscape. So what I'm trying to do is keep it off our gravel pathway. So what I did, this is real easy. It costs hardly nothing. I've got a piece of black water pipe right there that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. And I dug a hole and I put this in here just below ground. I don't want to hit it with a lawnmower. And once I'm going to cement this in place, and then whenever and then this will fit on top. It's just a bolt and the washer. Keep the dirt out. It'll sit there. Mower can go over. Won't touch it. But when I want to use it, I can pull that off, and then I've got a piece of rebar that I can stick right down in it, and then the hose will go around it, and I won't be getting into my flower beds. And when it's not in use, you won't even know it's there. It'll be completely covered except for this little end, which I'll probably paint maybe orange or something so I can see it, but I'll know where it is. So just a little tip, keep the hose out. When we finish up, you'll see how it works. Stay with us. All right, I'm just putting, you can see I'm just putting concrete in the hole around here a little bit. I've got 2 of them to do, so I'll make sure I got enough concrete. You don't want to take a whole lot. There's not going to be a whole lot of pressure on it once it's all finished, and the ground should be good.
We're working on a few projects today. We got some porch steps going and this little trick he's doing for our landscaping. I like this place better because it's more shady.
See, when you're pouring concrete, you don't want it to go in that hole. Let's put my hole back in there with a washer. Nice thing about this, no one will even know it's here.
And it will save from a lot of our flowers from getting lopped off from the hose, by the hose.
Make it real stable.
So are you gonna bring that up to ground level?
Yeah, this will be filled in with dirt, and then I'll plant grass back on that, some sod on it. You know, the only thing you'll see is just that very top of it. So
oh, okay. So the concrete just comes up to right there.
Yeah, you don't need to put it all the way. Don't put concrete all the way up because you want to grow grass around it. So that's a good point. Is you want to. There's enough concrete there to hold this steady, so it doesn't move under pressure. But that's fine. And then that's enough. A couple inches of dirt, and grass will grow fine over top of that. No problem at all.
That's a
so
cool trick.
you won't even know it's there. Well, you'll know, but nobody else will. Here's a tip that you need to know when if you're going to do this. This obviously is a piece of pipe, so it's open all the way through. If you and I pounded this down into the ground and made sure that it was just at ground level. So here's the key: if you pound this in without stopping up the other end, this will fill up with dirt. And then when you go to put your rod in, it's only going to go in about that far. So you don't want to do that. So a good trick is if you have a bolt laying around. I took a small bolt, about that long, same setup, and I put it on the end, and then I put it on the end, put it down on the ground, and then pounded it into the ground. So this sealed that other bottom end, and it only took up a little bit of space inside the pipe.
Oh, so you're talking about the bottom part.
The very
of the pipe.
bottom. So when you before you pound this in the ground, or before you just set it there and put concrete, you want to make sure that this is open all the way. And to do that, I just took a small bolt about that long with a washer, same setup, put it up to the bottom, and then pounded that in the ground. Just insert it on the pipe, turn it upside down, and so that this was pushing against the dirt, nothing got inside that tube. So that this can sit all the way to the bottom of it. That's all the way to the bottom.
Excellent tip.
So there we go.
Okay.
Okay, hey, we're getting there with our hose. I don't know what we want to call this thing, but
a hose diverter.
Hose diverters, retainers, keep your hose away from your landscaping rods. So I wanted something that was strong enough, sturdy enough, that I wasn't always having to bend it back over, or it was falling out and tipping over and doing all those kinds of things that drive you nuts. So I hate doing those kinds of things. So I wanted something a little bit permanent, but that no one even know it was there. So what we did is we buried this pipe in concrete, I'll be able to stick a rod down, another metal rod down through, a piece of rebar I had in there. And as you can see, I painted the top of that red so I could see it pretty easily. For that, and what we're going to do is put a little dirt. Remember we said don't bring the concrete all the way up to the top or you won't be able to plant on that. So I've got just a little bit of soil here, and we're going to put a little bit in there. We're going to put some, let's see what we've got here. And you can just fill that up, because remember the dirt won't go down in that because I've got it capped. Tap that down a little bit in there. My shoe. Get that in there, and then what I want to do is I want to put grass seed in there. I'm going to cover that up because it's going to be obscure. You'll be able to know it's there, but nobody else really will. So I'm going to do that. Just grab a little bit of dirt to cover that grass seed up. Down a little bit. And we can keep that out so we can see it. Let the grass grow up, and we're good. And I'll go ahead and finish this out also around the area and make it look really nice, but it gives you a pretty good idea. And then all we have to do when we want to use it is pull that up. And I've painted the ends of my rebar red so I could see it when it's in the ground. No dirt gets in there now. Put that in there, and now my hose can go around that and not get in my gravel and the landscaping. So that's pretty sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere, and it'll definitely hold that hose away from things I don't want it to touch. So we'll finish the other one up, and then we'll just show you how it works, see if it works. Stay with us. All right, we finished our project. The issue before was when I would pull the hose across the gravel walkway and around the plants, it would make a mess, or I'd break the plants and flowers off. So I wanted to solve that. We could install these hose guards to prevent that from happening. So all I have to do is pull a pin and insert the rod, which I can store over by the hose. Now what I can do is pull the hose around without it interfering with the plants. Insert this one. And now my hose is sufficient to not make a mess and keep it out of the way. And what's also nice about this is when I want to rewind the hose, my hose isn't being pulled across the gravel walkway, nor is it being pulled against the plants. So as I reel in, the hose keeps it away from the plants and the walkway. So that's where you have it, and all I have to do is pull the rods, insert the pins back in, store these over by the hose, and we're good to go. I also wanted to point out, you may have seen this, is these are great for storing your hose in out of the way so it's not unsightly. But whenever you do that and you pull these things, and most people know, usually this thing goes with you. It causes an annoyance too. To solve that, I just used some concrete, made a form, created a concrete block, and then I set this on it with some bolts into the concrete, and this is all one piece and it's heavy, and I can pull the hose without it moving on me. So just another little tip from Front Porch Ideas. This is Dave from Porch Ideas. More, we'll see you on the porch.